Hello, Assalamu alaikum, my friends and Android software engineers, students, and learners. Here I'm Abdul Qayyum. I'm with you with my Android software engineering third lecture. It's Java Developers Roadmap. During this lecture, we will discuss about Java Developers Roadmap and Java certification and how to prepare for them. So let's dig inside it. What does a Java developer do? Let's make it larger. A Java developer is responsible for the design, development, and management of Java-based applications. Means a Java developers can design, develop, and manage Java-based applications. It can be web-based applications, Android applications, desktop applications, because Java is provide us all possibilities to create for applications. A Java developer is responsible for the design, development, and management of the Java. Sorry, it's duplicate lines, so I'm going forward. They frequently act as a support structure for business by recommending new solutions to improve user experience. Means a good software Java developers can recommend to a business company to make good softwares and improve user experience by attracting more users to any business. Understanding the most appropriate tools, methodologies, and language to use for a particular problem or solution on essential aspects of a Java developer's day to day. Means a Java developers if you want to be a good Java developer, then you should have good methodologies and methodologies which solve any particular problem in an easy way. And you should be and up to date your skills on day-to-day basis. There are Java developers responsibilities: design, develop, implement, and maintain Java application faces, code, and software. And Java developers also conduct software analysis, programming, testing, and debugging, as well as recommending changes to improve the established process, and transform requirements into these stipulations and identify production and non-production applications issues. Means a good Java developer should maintain, develop, and Java applications faces and its code and softwares which are created used by Java platform. And as a senior Java developer, it should have skills to analyze any of code of their company mates or colleagues, and it has the skills to test and debug any code, and also it should lead any team and recommend changes to make it perfect to any application working or user interface. Skills for a good Java developer: patience and perseverance to overcome challenges, solve problems, and learn new computer language and techniques. As we discussed earlier, as a software engineer, you should be patient and patience to puzzle solving. Familiarly with a variety of designs, languages, and methodologies: SQL, ORM, J2EE, RabbitMQ, microservices, Agile, and Scrum. But there are some of databases, and some J2E interpreter edition is a solution by which we can create applications, Java applications, and Microsoft microservices. Agile and Scrum. Agile is a project management process, and competence and comfort using the multiple frameworks: Spark, Storm, Hadoop, and Angular 2.4.5, and Spring Boot. And there are some frameworks which we will discuss and we will learn in further lectures when we cover Java library and Java advanced topics. Then we will move forward to the frameworks of the Java. Ability to gather accurate requirements and work closely with the stakeholders to provide tasks and scope of the development. Strong attention to detail with the ability to identify errors and make adjustments in a testing environment. I hope that's clear now. Then move forward for the salaries of the Java developer. The use of Java seems to be more in the quality than in quantity, as only 2.6% of the all websites utilize Java. But some of the biggest, most highly trafficked websites depend on Java, such as LinkedIn, Chase, and even the ASE. Means Java is not commonly used in web development or web development, but Java is refers to quality but not quantity. So Java is the backend of many most popular and highly paid websites like LinkedIn, Chase, and IRS. Java can be used in many industries. It is e-commerce and web-dependent companies that rely on quality Java developers. As a company grows, they tend to be switched over to Java for the better speed and stability. Java is also said to be the future of big data, which could be give Java developers as even stronger salary of Java developers. According to pay scale, Java developers make an average base salary of 73,280 $68,000 in the United States. The more languages and methodologies a Java developer knows, generally the higher the salary will be. For example, a senior Java developer makes an average of 15K more in base salary. More experience you gain as Java developer, the more seniority you will have, and consequently a higher salary. Expected education and certification. A Java developer should have at least a bachelor's degree, usually in computer science, information systems, information technology, mathematics. Though many Java developers choose to pursue a professional certificate in seeds, like we are discussing further. Java Standard Edition 8 Programmer means JDK 8. Oracle Certified Associate gives you a name, brand, certificate, education with a short training turnaround time of the just 5 days. Means Oracle is giving us the certification of training in short training of just 5 days, and it will make us a certified Java programmer. There are some Java Oracle certifications. There are 4 types of specifications. Certification levels structured under the Oracle's Java certification path. They are OCA, Oracle Certified Associate; OCP, Oracle Certified Professional; OCE, Oracle Certified Expert; OCM, Oracle Certified Master. There's a number 1 Java SE 8 Standard Edition 8 Programmer 1Z0808. It's the Oracle Certified Associate Java SE 8 Programmer. Its exam number is 1Z0808. Exam title should be when we get a certificate, its title will be Java SE 8 Programmer 1, and when we talk about details, its duration will be 150 minutes, and number of questions will be 70. Passing score will be 65% and validate against SE8 Standard Edition 8 means JDK 8. Format will be multiple MCQ choice, multiple choice questions. Exam price, here I am from Pakistan, there I am telling you about Pakistan price. It will be 22,584 in Pakistan, and it will vary according to your price of country. Then outline of the Java programmer. 1. Java basics. Define the scope of variables. You should be aware of defining the scope of variables, defining the structure of a Java class, create executable Java application with the main method, run a Java program from the command line, produce console outputs, import other Java packages to make them accessible in your code, compare and contrast the features and components of Java, such as platform independent, object orientation, encapsulation, etc. Using parentheses and decision constructors, use Java operators use parentheses to override operator precedency, test quality between string and other objects using equal and equals, create if and if else ternary constructs, use switch statements. Don't be afraid of these statements. We will cover all of this in our Java basics and fundamentals. We will cover use loop constructs, create and use while loops, create and use for loops including the enhanced for loop, create and use do while loops, compare loop constructs, use break and continue, working with inheritance, describe inheritance and its benefits, develop code that makes use of polymorphism, develop code that overrides methods, differentiate between the types of the references and the type of the objects, determine when casting is necessary, use super and this to access objects and constructors, use abstract classes and interface. And a Java developer should be for the because we are prepping for the OCA, then we should be also able to working with the selected classes for the Java API, like manipulate data using the string builder class and its methods, create and manipulate strings, create and manipulate calendar data using the classes from the java.time.localDatetime, java.time.localDat, and java.time.localTime, java.time.format.dateandTime formatter, java.time.period. That's all we will cover in the date and time API. Declare and use an array list of the given type. Write a simple lambda expression that consumes a lambda predicate expression. Working with Java data types, it should be able to declare and initialize variables including casting of the primitive data types, differentiate between object references, variables and primitive variables, know how to read or write to objects, fields, explain object lifecycle, creation, dereference by the reassignment and the garbage collection, develop code that uses wrapper classes such as boolean, double and integer, creating and using arrays, declare. We should be able to declare, initiate, initialize and use and one-dimensional array, declare, initiate, initialize and use multi-dimensional array. Java developers should be able to work with the methods and encapsulation, create methods with argument and return values including overload methods, applying the static keyword to the methods and fields, create and overload constructors, differentiate between default and user defined constructors. We should be able to apply access modifiers, applying some encapsulation principles to a class, determine the effect upon object reference and the primitive values when they are passed into the methods and change the values. And Java OCA preparation will be around handling exceptions, differentiate among the checked expressions, unchecked exceptions and errors, create and try catch blocks and determine how exception altered normal program flow, describe the advantage of exception handling, create and invoke a method that throw an exception, recognize common exceptions classes such as null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, array index out of bound exception and class cast exception. And we also work with the method encryption story for this one encryption. And next slide will be, next we have another certification, Java SE Professional, Oracle Certified Professional Java SE 8 Programmer. Exam number would be 1Z0.2809. Example title will be Java SE 8 Programmer 2. Previous was Programmer 1 and this will be Programmer 2. Its program exam Duration will be 150 minutes. The number of questions will be 85. Passing score will be 65% and validate against JT8 or SE8. Its format will be same as multiple choice questions and price will be same 22,584. Its core topics will be Java class design and what will be included in this: implement encapsulation, implement inheritance, and including visibility modifiers and composition, implement polymorphism, override hash codes, equals and two string methods from object classes, create and use singleton classes and immutable classes, develop code that use static keyword on initialize blocks, variables, methods, and classes. And second core topic will be generics and collections, and we should be able to create and use a generic class, create and use array list, tree map, and array deque. They are some collections or data structures. We will cover it in data structures. Use java.digital comparator and java.lang comparator interfaces, collection, streams, and filters. Iterate using for each methods of the stream and list to describe stream interface and stream pipeline. Filter a collection by using lambda expressions. Use a method reference with streams. And core topic, another core topic will be Java Stream API. Develop code to the extract data from an object using the peek method and map methods, including primitive versions of the map method. Search for data by using the search method of the stream classes, including find first, and find any math, all match, and not match. Develop code that uses the optional classes. Develop code that use stream data and methods and calculations methods. Sort a collection using the stream API. Save results to a collection using the collect methods and group partition data using the collection class. Use flat map methods and stream API. Then this another core topic, use Java SE8 date time API. We will cover in basics of date and time API in the OCA, and we will cover in detail as much as we can in the date and time API in the OCP preparation. Create and manage date-based and time-based events, including a combination of date and time, including into a single object using local date, local time, local date and time, instant, period, and duration. Work with dates, time cross time zones, manage changes resulting from daylight saving, including format date and time values. Define and create manage date-based and time-based events using instant, period, duration, and temporal unit. Next topic is Java file IO. NIO.2. Use the path interface to operate on file and directory paths. Use files classes to check, read, delete, copy, and move, manage metadata or a file or directory. Use stream API with NIO2.2. Then another topic will be building database application with the JDBC. So we will program applications which use JDBC database to store data. It also will be included in the OCP preparation. Describe the interface that make up the core of the JDBC API, including the driver, connections, statements, and result set interface and their relationship to provider implementations. Identify the components required to connect to a database using the driver manager class, including the JDBC URL. Submit queries and read the results from the database, including creating statements, returning result sets, iterating through the results, and properly closing result set, statements, and connections. There is another topic, advanced Java class designs. Will included Java code that uses abstract classes and methods. Develop code that use the final keyword. Create inner classes, including static inner classes, local classes, nested classes, anonymous inner classes. and use enumerated types including methods, constructors in an enum type. Develop code that declares, implements and or extend interfaces and use the override annotations. Create create and use lambda expressions. Then lambda built-in functional interface. Use the built-in interface including in the java.util.function package such as predicate, consumer function and suppliers. Develop code that uses primitive versions of the functional interface. Develop code that uses binary versions of the functional interface. Develop code that use the unary operator interface. And expression and exceptions and assertions. Use try and catch throw statement. This will be in much detail from the OCA as exception handling. Use cache and multi-cache and finally clause. Use auto close resources with try with resources statement. Create custom exceptions and auto closable resources. Test invariants by using assertions. Then next topic is Java input output fundamentals. Read and write data from the console. Use buffer readers, buffer writers, file reader, file writer, file input streams, file output streams, object output streams, object input stream and print writer in the java.io package. Means we will learn a lot in java.io fundamentals about the file handling. Then we will also learn Java concurrency. Create worker threads using runnable, callable and use an executor service to the concurrently execute tasks. Identify potential threading problems among deadlock, starvation, live lock and race conditions. Use synchronized keyword and java.util concurrent.atomic package to control the order of the thread execution. Use java.util concurrent calculate collection and classes including cyclic, barrier and copy on write array list. Use parallel fork join framework. Use parallel streams including reduction and decomposition, merging processes, pipeline and performance. Then also we will learn about localization. Read set the locale by using the locale object. Create and read a properties file. Build and resources bundles for each locale and load a resources bundle in an application. Then here's an OCP professional for the web development in Java. That's Java EE7 application developer, OCP 1Z0 to 900. Oracle certified Java EE7 application developer. Its number is 7Z0 to 900. Exam title is Java Enterprise Edition 7 application developer. Its duration will be 150 minutes. Number of questions same as 70. Passing score 67. And this exam will also use multiple choice question pattern and price will be same as 22,584 in Pakistan rupees. Its syllabus. Its first core topic is Understanding Java Enterprise Edition Architecture. Describe Java Enterprise Edition Architecture. 7 standards, containers, APIs and services. Differentiate between applications, components, functionalities as they apply to different tiers and containers including Java.Enterprise Edition, web containers, business logic implementation and web services. Create, package and deploy Java Enterprise Edition applications. Demonstrate an understanding of the enterprise Java beans and CDI beans, their life cycle and mandatory and memory scopes. Demonstrate the understanding of the relationship between bean components, annotations, injections and JNDI. Implement business logic by using the EJB. Create seasons AGB components containing synchronous and asynchronous business methods. Manage the lifecycle containers, callbacks and use interceptors. Demonstrate understanding of the how to control EJB transactions. Distinguish container management CMT and bean management BMT transactions. Create EJB timers. Then next topic is implement SOAP services by using JAX WS and JAX P APIs. Create SOAP web services and client using the JAX WS API. Define Java to XML schema mapping to Marshall and unmarshalled Java objects by using JAX P API. Then we also learn about the Java web applications using JSPs. Describe JSP lifecycle, describe JSP syntax using tag libraries and exceptions, language, handling errors using servlets and Java server pages, create Java applications using WebSockets, understanding and utilize WebSockets, communication styles and lifecycles, create WebSocket servers and client endpoints handlers using JSR 356 API and JavaScript, produce and consume, encode and decode WebSocket methods, messages. Then we will also cover secure Java Enterprise Edition 7 applications, describe Java Enterprise Edition declarative and programmatic security and configure authentications using application roles and security constraints and login modules, describe web services, security standards. We use concurrency API in the Java Enterprise Edition 7 application, demonstrate the understanding of the Java concurrency utilities and use managed executors. We'll also learn manage persistent using JPA entities and bean validation, create JPA entity and relationship object relationship mapping ORM and use Entity Manager to perform database operations, transactions and locking with the JPA entities, handle entry data with the conversations, validations and key generation created and using JPQL statements. We'll also cover about use Java Message Services API, describe the Java Message Services JMS messaging models and implement Java SE and Java EE message producers and consumers including message driving beans, use transactions with the JMS API. Then we will also cover about creating Java web applications using servlets, create Java servlets and describe how they are mapped to URLs and use HTTP methods, handle HTTP headers, parameters, cookies, manage versatile life with containers, callbacks, methods and web filters, implement REST services and using JAX RS API, understanding apply REST service conventions, create REST services and client using JAX RX API. Then we will move to the developing web application using JSF, describe JSF architecture, lifecycle, navigation using understanding JSF syntax and use JSF tag libraries, handle localization and produce messages, use expression language and interact with CDI beans and use CDI beans, create CDI bean qualifiers, producers, disposers and interceptors, events and stereotypes. We should also learn for the OCP that we should be able to use batch API in Java Enterprise Edition 7 applications, describe batch jobs using JSL, XML, documents and JSR 352 API. And we will move for the Java SE Master certification. It's last certification for the OCA by Oracle about Java. Candidate must either complete one of the listed Java certification courses or submit one of the archived courses they may have already completed. Candidate may choose one of the listed Java certification course to complete. Means any of student which want to get the certificate of the Java SE Master, then it should he or she should complete any of the following course certification of OCE, OCM, OCP, sorry OCM not but OCEP, Then there are some certifications. He should select one of those and complete first, and then he will be available. He can get the certification of the masters in Java also. There are some certification like developing application with the Java Enterprise Edition 6 or WebLogic Servers 12c, Java SE 7 new features, Java SE 7 programming, Java SE 7 fundamentals, object-oriented analysis and design using a UML, Java SE 7 develop rich client applications, Java performs tuning with the mission control and flight recorder, Java SE 8 fundamentals, Java SE 8 programming, Java SE 8 new features. Once you have completed the above, the following two exams requirements must be completely to officially obtain your Java certification. Its name is Java SE 6 Developer Certified Master Assignment. There are two exams, one assignment, and its number is 100855. Exam title Java SE 6 Developer Certified Master Assignment, and its cost is $245 USD. And another example and another city exam for the OCM is Java SE 6 Developer Certified Masters ASE. Exam number is 100856. Its title is Java SE 6 Developer Certified Master ASE. Its cost also $245. The OCM's two parts are estimated to require 120 hours of work to complete. Mains and OCM can require 120 hours of the work to complete. OCM Masters, its name is Java Enterprise Edition 6 Enterprise Architect Certified Master. Its code is 100807. Its price is $245. Price may be vary by country or localized currency. Its duration is 150 minutes. Number of questions will be 60 and passing score 71. It's also will be multiple choice questions. Its syllabus starts first. Core topic is application design concepts and principles. We should be able to identify the effects of an object-oriented approaches to the system design, including the effect of encapsulation, inheritance, and use of the interfaces. Identify how the separation of the concern principles applies to the component model of the Java Enterprise Edition application, including client and web and business component containers and integration and resource layers. Identify the correct interpretation of the separation of the concern as it applies to the Java Enterprise Edition service layers, including components, APIs, runtime containers, the operating systems, and hardware resources. We should be able to identify non-functional and quality of service requirements that influence applications designs, including trade-offs in the performance, availability, and serviceability. Then another core topic is integration messaging. Identify the APIs available for Java Enterprise Edition technology-based system in communicating with the external resources, including JPA, JDBC, RMI, Web Services, JMS, and JCA. Outline the best benefits and drawbacks of each approaches. We can see this exam is much more of theory than practical. So it's divided to two courses, assignment and essay. Describe the technologies used to integrate business components with the web services, including XML over HTTP, JSON, SOAP, and REST. Identify and detail the technologies used to integrate business components with external resources, including JMS and JCA. Identify how service-oriented architecture SOA facilitates systems integration and best practices. Then we should be able to demonstrate web technologies, identify the benefits and drawbacks of the using URL rewriting and cookies to manage HTTP sessions, identify appropriate uses for JSP and serverless technology, and Java server space faces in a given Java Enterprise Edition application. Identify the benefits of using an EJB containers with a web containers instead of a web container alone. Identify the differences between client pull and server push architecture. Identify the benefits and drawbacks of using a browser to access asynchronous lightweight process on server. Then it should be aware of security. Identify the elements of security modules in the Java SE environment for the remote clients, including web stars, applets, and role of the security manager class. Select appropriate locations to implement Java Enterprise Edition security technologies or features in a UML component and deployment of diagram. Classify security threats to an enterprise application. Select measures and architect can propose to mitigate them. Identify techniques associated with the declarative and programmatic security, including the use of annotations, deployments, descriptors, and JAWS technology. Identify the security technologies then applies to an applicant code, messaging, and transport layers. Then common architecture. Identify the appropriate strategy for the development client applications to desktop and mobile application to platforms, the principles for designing a user interface, and the benefits of applying client tier patterns. Identify best practice for exception handling, logging, and business tier patterns. Identify the design patterns that address specific challenges in the web tier and including authentication, authorization, and scaling and clustering to meet demands. Identify Java Enterprise Edition technologies, including JMS, JCA, and web services, and design patterns that address specific challenges in enterprise integration. Identify the challenges in integrating enterprise resources, the Java Enterprise Edition technologies that address them, including JPA, JDBC, and communication protocols that support tier to tier communication, including RMI, IIOP, and CORBA. And then business tier technologies means OCM should be aware of business tier technologies. Identify the correct EGB technology to apply for a given scenario, including entity classes, session beans, message driven beans, timers, interceptors, and POJOs. Identify benefits and drawbacks of the different persistent technologies such as BMP, CMP, and JPA, including ease of development, performance, scalability, extensibility, and security. Identify the benefits and drawbacks of implementing web services in EJB component container. Select the appropriate use of the JPA and JPQL in a given scenario. Then the OCM should be aware of the design patterns, like demonstrating knowledge of Java Enterprise Edition design patterns, including service starters, singleton, bean locator, resource binder, dependency injection, payload extractor, context holder, and thread tracker. Select an appropriate pattern for a given application challenge for the following: facade, strategy, observer, composite, and abstract factory. Identify a design pattern using a description of its features from the following: facade, strategy, observer, composite, and abstract factory. Identify the use of law of leaky abstraction or a specific anti-pattern in a given scenario. This is end of this lecture. Hope you enjoyed, and I know this is very long, approximately 40 minutes, but I want to discuss all of the certification and the syllabus, so it take time. And if you have any query about the certifications and their syllabus, not about topics, so because we will cover all of these topics in in our sections of preparing about some certifications, but here just some demonstration about their structure of program certification and exam patterns and fees and roadmap to the as Java developer. So hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching my video, and please support me by subscribing and comment me about any query if you have, and also click on the bell icon so we are going to move forward in our course Android software engineers. And now we will fully ready to start the Java library section in our next video. Hope you enjoyed, and support me and follow me for next lectures. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Best of luck for our course.